La la.
Hey there, once again.
La la.
This is Jerome Shaw.
And Ellie Tom Elamine.
And we're bringing another message today. And I was reading this book, and I remember that a while back I was talking to you because you were talking about when you're reading things on the path or doing things on the path, finding things to do is essential.
Mm-hmm.
You know, finding activities to keep your mind busy, to keep your mind going, and to be hungry for a food that's not physical.
Exactly.
You know,
things you really want to do. What do you want to do?
Right, right. And when we're talking about information, food is information, but information is food.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Information is food. This is awesome.
So you told me at one point, I remember you were telling me how somebody told you the truth is in fiction.
The truth is in fiction.
Who do you remember who told you that?
Oh man, this was way back. I know who it is, but I
Okay.
just can't put her name out there.
Yeah, no worries.
She was out to lunch too, but she still gave some knowledge.
Yes.
Out to lunch.
Yes. So don't put down fiction, you know, just because it's not nonfiction, it doesn't mean that it can't be applicable or, you know, to the path or to the journey.
And the reason why we say this, I put a post on social media one time that said we are fictional creatures. That's why the truth is in fiction. We're fiction. Look at this civilization. You can look at the monetary system, the political system, different types of sports, football,
True.
Basketball, entertainment. All of those are made up from the human mind.
Right.
But do they really give you life? We made it and we put it here, but they're all fictional. Somebody made it up. We augmented it, you know, make rules on how it should go. And then everybody agrees upon it. That's why it exists.
True.
All religions is like that. No put down.
Right.
But people came together, agreed, and that's why it's here.
It's like a consensus.
Yep, it's a
Yeah.
consensus because we're fictional creatures.
Wow, I didn't even think about it like that. That's interesting.
Whoa.
Wow, I had to munch on that real quick.
Whoa, it's a big one.
Yeah.
And if we want to change the world into a new world, what that's going around right now, we just got to agree upon something and let it grow, and then you're going to have a new fiction that we created.
Yes.
Oh, did we say this?
Wow.
But we want to get the fiction in reality. That's just saying we're be getting more wise now on universal laws. We've got enough in our history, the do's and don'ts. So right now it should make it easier if we really understand this and everybody starts seeing it. But we still won't make it up.
Right. Exactly. So you making it up. So fictional creatures, like they say, you know, in your book of life, let no one else hold the pen.
Exactly.
You know, you are writing your story.
You're writing your story.
Yeah.
It's sort of like one time when I became a vegan, I just created a new story. When I became eating live or raw foods, I just created a new story.
Yes.
Didn't have to, but I did because I wanted to.
Right.
And then becoming a breatharian, I created a new story.
A new storyline. Yes.
What's my new character?
Right. Right.
Your life is a book. Everybody's life is a book.
Yes.
What did you create? Oh, that's awesome.
Right. And make it something that you would want to read. You know?
Exactly.
Make it interesting.
Sort of like a fan.
Right.
A fan is actually a fanatic of somebody's fantasy.
Okay,
Look at that fantasy they created.
Yeah.
Oh, man, are we saying this?
Yes.
Because we're the absolute. We're creating worlds.
Yes.
Oh, this is something, ain't it?
Creators on every level.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Man, so in this chapter, in this book here, it's a science fiction book called Satori. And there's a excerpt that I just wanted to read where there's a master, his name is Father Kadir, and he's speaking to one of his disciples on this subject. And they're talking about the sky. So continuing to smile, he cocked his head, this is the master, he cocked his head to one side and looked up at the sky. Ah, he said hugely, what a beautiful blue sky. Startled by the sudden shift in topics, Mayali, his disciple, looked upward. The sky was incredibly blue, bluer than she could ever remember seeing it. The blueness of it soaked into her, filling her to her very fingertips. Yes, she murmured, awed by the beauty of it. Yes, so very blue. And how do you know it's blue? Asked the master. Surprised, she looked at him. Because it is blue. But what is blue? Said the master. the sky, she said, and blue cups and eyes and lots of things. But those things aren't blue. They're things that are colored blue. Where is this thing called blueness? Point to it. Don't just add up things that are blue and tell me that is blue. Point to blueness itself. I can't, she responded. Then how do you know the sky is blue? He asked. Because that's what I learned to call it. That's how I was taught to use the word. Ah, said the master. And how were you taught to use the word reality? Mayali was silent. She could think of nothing else to say.
Right.
So this, when I read that excerpt, the immediate thing that I thought of was when I first did that dry fast back when I was with your first retreat in Sherman Oaks. And I ended up going 2 weeks long, and I had this barrier that I broke through. It was like I'm still alive.
Right.
And I had to question everything that I was ever taught, everything that I had ever learned, everything that I ever thought that I knew about what are these vitamins? What are these minerals?
Right.
What are these nutrients? What are these things that supposedly I need to get externally in order to exist, in order to survive?
Right.
It was just like her asking the question of, well, I know the sky is blue because that's what we call it. He's like, well, what is that?
Right.
You were asking us, like, what are these vitamins? What are these how do you know what that is?
How do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you know you can't live off of something else besides what we already eat?
Right. Right.
This gets deep. You're asking yourself those questions. And I'm glad you're bringing this up because that's the power of the language. All languages, it's the power of language because we're made up of words. They even got a color of blue, a shade of blue, that a Russian-speaking person could see it quicker than a person speaking another language because they got a word for it.
Okay.
That's how powerful language is.
Okay. Because they have a word for it.
They have a word for it. So the person who speaks that language will see it slightly first compared to somebody else. You don't have a word for it.
Okay.
We're made up of words. In
Wow.
the beginning was God. God was the word and la, la, la. Right. It's just that powerful. So that's why when I'm teaching now, you notice how I'll grab a word or a concept and then I'll challenge it because everybody got in their mind on what they think it is.
Right. Right. Right.
And then we'll lock it up with something else and say, don't you know those two words is talk about the same thing?
Exactly.
But before a person didn't know that.
So it's like arguing semantics.
Exactly.
They're saying the same thing.
They're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then they start breaking down barriers because a person was like, it got to become this way in my narrative on a book I'm reading.
Right.
How I was learned.
Right.
And we're saying, well, wait a minute. Let's look at it at a bigger level. And that opens a person up so you can see.
Okay. Okay.
From perception into a real reality.
Right. Right. So the language, when you change the language, it's almost like it. Okay.
Because don't we got a thing called a language barrier?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, what is that?
You're right.
And not only two people speaking different languages, but you can speak the same language and have a language barrier. That's why you need a lawyer for court.
Oh man.
You speak the language, but he knows more in detail of the language dealing with what you're dealing with right now.
Okay.
So you need to get somebody who knows the schematics of the language on what you need, even though you speak in the word.
Right. Right. Because two people could look at like for instance, like a car. One person can say that car's blue. The other person says that car's green. Like they're both looking at the same car, but they think it's something totally different.
Something totally different. Because your mind is just interpreting them from your life experiences, everything else. And we can't say that's far-fetched because they got things on the internet now where what color is this? To show you the mind and how the mind play games. Oh man, this is a deep thing we in.
And I love how you said your mind is interpreting it, Elitam, because in the Matrix, there was a scene where Morpheus and Neo were inside a simulation, and he brought him into this white room. It was completely white.
Right.
And there was a TV there, and there was a couch there, and you see Neo looking around the room like, he's like, is this real? And Morpheus, he said, what is real?
Right.
How do you define real?
Right.
Here we
go.
It was
How
just
do you
like,
know?
it's just, you know, he said reality basically is just the interpretation of whatever electric signals in your brain, the
electric
chemical,
signals.
you know. So your interpretation of reality, there's so many different factors that can even equal that interpretation.
Oh man, it's powerful.
You know,
Words are very powerful.
Right.
And it's just like when we teach the breatharian message. When I first came out, a breatharian lives off the air. Nobody never been taught that. You're crazy. There's nothing in the air. But as you sit down and we start digging into it, what's in the air? What's taking place? There's energy in the air.
Right.
Oh, but we had to bring people there
Right.
through some words.
Yes.
And then a person starts seeing it. Wow, there he is.
Yes. Yeah.
But a word had to open you up.
The word had to open the door. Oh man. So it's like, I feel like the greatest philosophers are people like, you know, people like Krishnamurti, people like Socrates, people like Plato. Like some of these great philosophers are the ones that ask questions, and they get people to ask their own questions. Like
Right.
they get people to question themselves on what they think they know.
Exactly.
You know.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And you start challenging yourself. Well, all we did was just lead you there so you could question it.
Right.
Oh man.
It's just a finger that's pointing you in the direction that you must go yourself.
You must go yourself.
To
Nobody
find
could
it.
do it for you.
Right.
Oh man, this is good.
Wow.
And notice how you was reading that science fiction book. This was making us good creatures also. You get this fiction book, and that's just mean it's not real, but it could take you to another planet, another galaxy, somebody else's life. That's the power of reading.
Right.
Remember we was talking about that this morning? So start taking advantage, because there was a time not too long ago, all is humanity, 99% could not read.
Wow.
And the people who could was divine.
Wow. Wow.
You could read a symbol, understand what to do, and don't even meet the person. That's awesome, ain't it?
Just knowing how to read.
Just knowing how to read.
Wow.
One time I was traveling and I just met this group of people. They brought out my book. We read the book, so it was already on track of what I was going to talk about before they met me. That's the power of reading.
And they caught your energy because, you know, somebody said this, and I feel like it's so true. You know, if we can say on one level, okay, thoughts are energy.
Yep.
And if somebody were able to take their thoughts and their author, like they put their thoughts
That's exactly what's happening.
into a book, you're not only grabbing the knowledge, the information, but you're picking up the literal energy
The literal energy.
of the author.
Exactly. That's powerful, ain't it?
Yeah.
We got to wake up to this. We got to wake up to this.
Yes.
And on a negative level, it works the same way with music, with, you know, reading certain materials. They say, watch what you read, you know, for the thought, and watch what you hear, because it can program you.
Yes. Yes.
This is deep.
So when they read your book, they weren't just reading the words, they were picking up the energy. That was like an energy transmission.
Exactly. And I met a woman just yesterday who did the same thing.
Okay.
Read one of my books and she was already caught up. She picked up the energy. And vice versa. When I read books, I don't need to meet the person. I just caught the energy of his mind.
Yes. Yes.
And this is how we keep growing. So take advantage of reading and also writing.
Right. Right.
You're putting energy, putting it out.
Both ways.
Both
Yeah,
ways.
Yeah. Take advantage of the inhalation and the exhalation.
I did a breatharian retreat teaching the importance of reading and writing. They said, what did this got to do with not eating? A lot. Exercise and take advantage of a privilege. It's a privilege to know how to read and write.
Yes. Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah, and we've heard it so many times with Masaru Emoto, the experiences or the experiments that Emoto did with even just the way that the word changes water.
Yeah.
And how you always hear, okay, we're made of whatever percentage of water, we're made of water, we're water, you know.
Oh, man.
And so these words are changing the molecular structure of your body. They're changing the water in you.
Here we
you
go.
know, as you're reading, as you're picking up this energy,
Oh, man.
you're changing your water.
You're changing your water.
Yeah,
This
and
is
water
something
holds
that-
memory.
Water holds memory. Oh, man. This is something, ain't it?
Yes.
Oh, and I even know this guy, or I heard about him, and he's an oil guy, but he said, in order to open up more of the door of what he's into, he had to work with his mind, and he was writing down every day. So this is training.
Yeah.
Thoughts that was holding him back, because everything is a thought.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand that. Some do, but there's a lot in that.
Okay.
And it opened up his doors so he was more successful in what he was into, but he had to work with his mind
Right.
for a year and a half. But it took writing it down.
Right. Right.
Because you just getting that energy out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Just do some words, a symbol.
Yeah. Yeah. Dump it, like extracting that energy.
Right.
Extracting it. Yeah.
Over and over again so you can bring something else
Mm-hmm.
in. Bring it in, taking out.
Right. So not only can you create space, you know, internally when you write things down, but even if you have like certain things that are mind-boggling, like the monkey mind, stuff like that, you can almost extract poison. You can take things out, negativity out by
Exactly.
just writing it down.
Exactly. Have you ever heard of a person being poisonous? You know, it ain't no put down. They'll spit poison. You know, that's how they teach on the street.
Right.
And all they're doing is extracting the energy through their words,
Right.
behavior, and it can poison you.
Right.
It just ain't no substance like that. We're dealing at a whole frequency, vibrational level.
Right.
It's everywhere.
We're all working with energy.
And then when I say meditation is the medication, in other words, it's a medication because you're dealing on an energetic level now to get rid of the poison,
Right. Right.
to clean you up.
Detoxify.
Right.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Every day.
Uh-huh.
Where you going? I'm going to go take an energy shower. To detoxify, get rid of the poison.
Right.
How did you get poisoned? What did you do? Just by being alive.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
So this is, you know, this is a really good message because, like you said, not only are we fictional creatures, but we're made of words.
We're made of words.
We're made of words.
Look at my new outfit. I'm a fictional creature. I'm going to start wearing black. I had this in my mind, this hat, for about 7 years.
That was a thought.
That was a thought, but it wasn't ready yet. We're
Yes.
always creating ourselves and recreating ourselves. And it's fun. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're avatars.
Yeah.
Avatar just ain't the movie. That's a Sanskrit word talking about a god, which is, us, a being, in a vessel.
Right.
These are our avatars.
Right.
What you want to do with it.
Right. Right. It's your choice.
It's so
you know?
fun.
So as creators, understanding that we're creating things and things are agreed upon with consensus, different creations. When you're dealing with these words, just like the master was questioning his disciple, really
Right.
just challenging her to question everything, question the things that you think you know,
Right.
the things that you have digested from people who might have fed you things in the past, concepts, ideas, philosophies like, why is the sky blue? Is it really blue, or is that just what I think it is, or what I've been told it is, or what I've been sold it is?
Right.
You know?
Oh, man. Here we go. He rhyming again. Told it is or sold it is. But that's the truth of the matter. And this life is so fun when you understand that you're a creative force. You can pick on many lives at different times. That's why I tell people when it gets down to reincarnation, you have many lives in the life you're living right now.
Right, right.
That's wild, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, you can live a life being materialistically successful, and then you could decide whether it's consciously or unconsciously. I don't want to deal with materialism now. I'm gonna deal with this. Right, and you're still successful.
Right.
because you know you did it.
Right, right.
That's awesome, ain't it?
Yes, yes.
But if you're on that other standard, I don't know what happened to me. And I'll be like, you created it. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. It was. Cool down. Cool down. It's okay. Everybody's alive.
Yes.
You ain't gonna die like that. See, we even challenging death itself. Who told you that? Uh-oh.
That's a deep question.
Oops.
Who told you?
Who told you that? And it's showing you it regenerates every day. We're a new person every day.
Right, right.
Somebody could show you something. You could be on the camera 10 years ago. See what you did? That wasn't me.
Wow.
I know what happened, but that wasn't me. I'm somebody new now.
Right.
That's how you roll it. You are.
So we are new in every moment.
Every moment.
You know?
Always recreating ourselves. Fictional
Yes.
creatures. What I
Yes.
want to do now.
Yes. Yes. So, oh my goodness, this is the message.
That's the message.
That's the message.
Oh, man. So have fun. Literally. You might want a moment in life where you're a real serious person, and then you might transform to be laid back. You
Right.
could do either one.
Right. Write your story.
Write your story.
You know.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh man. La la.
Thank you.
This is good once again.
All right.
Rolling.
We'll see you soon.